Hey, good morning, everybody. Blitzball Champ is back here with a brand new video here on the U to the Tube. So, now that I finally got an opportunity to do this, I wanted to take some time to talk about more Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. Now that they've done the live stream on the VF official YouTube channel, and a couple of other things as well. They had another article come out, kind of elaborating on plans from the studio and the folks working on this. And I just kind of wanted to give my take on a lot that's come up. And I have to say, I am legit excited now. Now, I am legit excited. And I'm going to explain why. But first, now I know the live stream was all in Japanese, which, not surprised. But thankfully, Made Man, a very well known Australian VFer, put out an article on VFDC to help kind of break down what they were talking about and kind of explain some of the main key points that they hit in the live stream. So I'm gonna use this article as sort of a guide, and I'll also link it in the description box so folks that haven't seen it can check it out for themselves. But yeah, let's dive into this. So one of the things that they mentioned, I'm gonna just go in the order of what this article listed. So they mentioned Virtua Fighter 1 skins. So the original Virtua Fighter skins you'll be able to get for each character. And it looks like this is going to be potentially part of the so-called legendary DLC pack, which I believe is going to release after the game is no longer free. So to elaborate on that, it's been official and confirmed that this game will be free for PlayStation Plus members throughout the months of June and July. So 2-month window, you really have no excuses. PlayStation Plus members, get on it. Starting June 1st, get on it. So everybody will have an opportunity to get this game and start playing. But there's a handful of people excited for the VF1 original skins. So I thought that was pretty neat that they're bringing that back. I remember they had that in VF4 Evo that you could play in classic VF1 settings. I thought that was pretty cool. But continuing on, so they talked some more about the online modes, and one of the things that they stressed, which I thought was pretty neat. Sorry about that. One of the things that I thought was pretty neat was they talked about the idea of being able to make online tournaments, room matches with lobbies that doubled from 8 maximum to 16 maximum. Also being able to have a spectator mode, and you can kind of post stamps or stickers to like hype up the match, cheer or jeer, whatever you want to do. But yeah, apparently this is going to be a summer update to feature the online tournament modes with brackets, and the room match functionality is going to be improved. And also team battle was mentioned. So I know that would be pretty cool if they had a mode to make team battle, easy to set up and easy to do. Um, I always thought, after watching this live stream and just really thinking about it, I was really thinking that I feel like a lot of investment is in the online multiplayer. Now I understand that right now there's not going to be any rollback netcode. Looks like it's going to still be using the delay based netcode. But being that they're enhancing this with features and the online mode lobbies and stuff like that, tournament play, something Final Showdown didn't have. So it sounds like there's quite a bit of investment in this department for this game. So I got to give them credit on that. But, we'll have to see how it pans out. A lot of people are disappointed. No rollback netcode. That's a turnoff for a lot of people. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see for ourselves. I plan on playing the multiplayer as well, and hopefully it'll work out. It might be a little rocky at first, but I think if we invest our time in it and give whatever feedback is possible, and not to mention they're going to be supporting future updates as well, which I'll get into that a little bit later, which that gives me hope. Of course, they showed that there's going to be a legit arcade cabinet for Ultimate Showdown. Of course, in Japan, it's called Virtua Fighter 5 Esports, Virtua Fighter Esports. And it's going to be using the same character data card system that FS used. I believe they're also going to be using a mobile app for that as well, which, I mean, looks like it's going to be Japan only for this. So kind of a bummer, but still neat that they're using that. I think it's still neat that they're using that feature. But arcade cabinet, hopefully, will get dispersed throughout many Japan arcades. So hopefully that works out well. Of course, they talked about a exhibition featuring some of Virtua Fighter's top fighters, which I believe they just recently had on. Oh no! Actually, it'll actually be on June 1st on the Famitsu Dengeki Online YouTube channel. So definitely looking forward to hopefully checking out some of that. I know we had Itazan, aka Itabashi Zangief, on this live stream, kind of helping to showcase the gameplay. There was also another player on there that had a mask. Not sure who that was, but Itazan was on there. Very, very well known VFer in Japan. So I thought that was pretty neat. They also talked about an esports circuit through 2021 and 2022. It looks like this is probably going to be Japan only, which doesn't surprise me. But pretty much, top players will battle out to be crowned the champion. But it looks like players will have to apply, and they get, I guess, randomly selected for preseason matches. There's going to be a preseason and then 2 challenge cups. So that's kind of the lineup that they have for this esports circuit for now. And they even have a really fancy looking arcade stick for Virtua Fighter Esports that has Akira on it. I would love to have it, but it looks like it's only going to be for those that win the exhibition matches. So don't think we'll be able to have access to that, but maybe down the road. But that's a really cool looking arcade stick. They also mentioned about Virtua Fighter Camp, and apparently it's a website that is launched by Sega that is going to be used for building social circles and building up the community and promoting events. So I think that's pretty neat. It looks like it's going to be linked to the circuit and exhibition matches. Don't know if this is something that will expand outside of Japan. I hope it does, because the idea of a Virtua Fighter Camp I think would be great worldwide, but we'll see. They also showed off a whole bunch of merch as well. Virtua Fighter Esports shirts, some coffee mugs, just a whole bunch of merch as well. But it was really cool to see them showcase gameplay with Itazan, and just there's a lot of promising stuff coming. And what I mean as I transition, there was another article on Famitsu.com from Sega producer Seiji Aoki, Usiman, about Virtua Fighter Esports. And thankfully, the Twitter account at GoSokyu was able to translate this article. And like I said, I'll put the tweet in the description box so everybody can follow along to the article and to the translations. But real promising stuff. Check this out. So I'm going to kind of go through the thread of translations and kind of, explain what's being talked about. So check this out. There had been regular discussions about reviving VF that went nowhere. But when talks of Sega's 60th anniversary started happening in 2019, that gave them the push they needed to finally bring it back. So that's pretty much what helped make this become a thing. So, yeah, it looks like there were indeed discussions about bringing back VF, but this being the 60th anniversary, Sega's 60th anniversary, they were able to, I guess, have enough incentive to work towards bringing this back. So, something to keep in mind. So, development hit full swing in February of 2020, right as the pandemic measures set in, which obviously made things difficult. This was not only the first collaboration between AM2 and Ryuga Gotoku Studio, but it also involved a lot of overseas studios, and because it was Sega's 60th project, it absolutely had to be released before June 3rd, 2020. And sure enough, this is releasing June 1st. Well, actually, before June 3rd, 2020. Oh, I'm sorry, before 2020. And they just made it. Okay. So I guess they were able to secure. I guess they were able to secure all that before June 3rd, 2020. I guess that's what this is saying. I had my dates mixed up for a second there. 2020, not 2021. Continuing on. The planning and programming was handled by AM2 staffers who had a legacy with both the arcade and home versions of VF, while RGG handled the visuals and implementation of the Dragon engine, including collaborating with AM2's programmers to ensure everyone was on the same page. So I guess that this is how the partnership worked out between AM2 and Ryuga Gotoku Studio. So you had the planning and programming from AM2 and the visuals from RGG with the Dragon engine. So that's how this collaboration worked. So So AM2's programmers, to ensure everyone was on the same page on why they're launching. Oh, actually, no, this is that was still part of the first part. Um, Moving on to the next part. I'm sorry. On why they're launching for free on PS Plus slash PlayStation Now. The idea of the project was to get the game in the hands of as many people as possible. They know there are generations who are aware of VF but haven't played it. So they wanted to make it affordable, and what's more affordable than free? I mean, that's pretty much explains a lot of this incentive. The idea is to get the game in as many people's hands as possible. Therefore, the first 2 months is free for PlayStation Plus members. So they want to see how this is going to do by getting the game into as many people's hands as possible. So when you think about it, it's really going to come down to us, really, with that feedback and with the dedication of really committing to playing this game consistently. So, like I said, they're making it free for the first 2 months. We really don't have any excuses. Even for those that, don't usually play this game, this is your opportunity. I mean, talk all you want, but let's see you play the game. Actually play the game. It won't cost you anything. You have a PS4, you have PlayStation Plus, it won't cost you anything. I mean, you got to have PlayStation Plus to play online anyway, so there's really no excuse. So, I'll just leave it at that. Continuing on, of course it won't be free forever. It'll leave PlayStation Plus after 2 months, and the PlayStation Now version is also limited. And they'll be selling DLC bundles. They'll be selling DLC bundles, etc., concurrently with these promos. So that's another thing we can look forward to. DLC. So, we've kind of heard some hints with the Legendary Pack, the VF1 Skins, and they even showed in the trailer, in one of the trailers in the live stream, some of the character customization. So we could probably look forward to a lot more DLC in the future, as time passes. So that's promising. Continuing on. On the arcade version, there was never any question that there wouldn't be an arcade version, but the pandemic obviously made them nervous. One of the ways they've minimized risk is by releasing via the multi-game APM3 service instead of distributing new dedicated cabinets. One concern was the location test, or rather whether they could even do one, not just because of the pandemic, but because the PS4/arcade versions were to release simultaneously, and they didn't want info from the location test to spoil their rollout. So they ended up not doing a real location test. But one of the purposes of a location test is to ensure arcade operators that their game is going to make money. So Sega actually ended up staging a mock location test within the company to simulate how it might perform in a real arcade, which they've never done before. That's interesting. That's really interesting. But like I said, with the pandemic, I can imagine times to do this were really, really difficult. So, I mean, I got to give them credit for being able to improvise on this and come up with a way to do sort of a mock location test. And I hope it worked out. I really hope it worked out. So, I got to give them kudos for really kind of improvising on a way to really be able to do this, because I want the arcade mode to be able to, or the arcade version to be successful as well. Moving on. VF Esports Arcade will support player data from Final Showdown. People can mail in their old IC cards to Sega, and Sega will transfer their battle data to the new AIME AIME card format, and the old VF.net service has been succeeded by VF Esports.net. So, excuse me, it's going to migrate from VF.net to VF Esports.net. So that's pretty neat that folks will be able to turn in their IC cards and get their battle data transferred for VF Esports. So that's a nice win for Japan there. Continuing on, the visuals were a big focus. VF5 looked fantastic in its day, but modern visual standards have changed. So they wanted to upgrade the GFX without betraying the look of the original game. One concern was that when people picture VF5 in their mind, they imagine the entire game looking like the high-res CG portraits you'd see on the character select screen. So they worried that even with all the work they put into upgrading the graphics, people might not realize just how different they actually look, but comments from some old players put them at ease. I mean, yeah, with the HD upgrade trailer that they released, it did, I have to say, the character models did look a little better. They did look better in that trailer, I will say that. And I was already fine with the stages in the first place. Thought the stages were nice. So, I mean, I gotta give them that, because after that first trailer, I was not impressed by the character faces and the models. But that HD upgrade trailer definitely looked better. So I gotta give them that. Moving forward, they were also focused on implementing features that reflect the demands of the competitive players. Tournament mode, league modes, spectator modes, etc. With the pandemic in mind, you'll also be able to hold tournaments online, and there's more they plan to add in future updates. Right then and there, very promising. Because, I mean, after all, they had the pandemic in mind, because there was no telling how long this pandemic is going to last. So they have to be able to improvise and be able to do the online tournaments and make them as, well done as possible to give the fans and the players an opportunity to be able to do tournaments where offline events weren't a possibility at the time. So I definitely like the mindset of that, going in hard with the online modes and the features with the lobbies and the tournament modes, spectator modes, stuff like that. I really like that. So definitely kudos on making that a priority. Check this next part out. Moving on. In addition to the features they didn't have ready for launch, open tournaments, team battle, etc., they also want to try and respond to user feedback after launch. And he has in parentheses, rollback, tell them you want rollback. There's your chance. As well as recreate and increase the number of customization items available. This is big, y'all. They want the feedback. They want to be able to respond to the feedback after launch. So for those that want rollback netcode so badly, that will be your opportunity. That will definitely be your opportunity, as well as anything else. It looks like they're going to be willing to listen. So this is our chance, but we gotta invest in playing in the game so that we can give the feedback necessary so that they can do their part and enhance and improve this game. Because realistically, this is going to be our best chance in order for there to be a future VF6 or greater. That's just the way it is. And I get it. I totally get it. Might not be what we all initially wanted. I know it's not what I initially wanted. I wanted a VF6. But this might be what could potentially lead to that at some point. We just have to invest in it and take a chance. Moving on. On costumes/customization items, all the costumes and customization items were remade from scratch. Ooh. So the currently available items are a subset of those from previous versions. They'd like to remake them all and add new ones, and maybe even do collaboration costumes. So that's a big win for customization. Everything's going to be remade, and there's even going to be collaboration costumes. So the possibilities there could be endless, especially with there being DLC. Be interesting to see what kind of bundles we'll get and what kind of customization costumes. Like, that does sound pretty neat. I just hope they don't end up charging an arm and a leg for like season bundles or whatnot, like DOA did, because then that will be a little ridiculous. But we'll see. Moving on. On the vision for VF Esports, he wants to hold many tournaments, including global tournaments. They're holding Season 0 of Challenge Cup in August through October and January through March, with the hope of transitioning into the fully fledged professional circuit in April. Another goal is to offer events delineated not only by pro-amateur, but player skill, which they've done successfully with the Puyo Puyo Esports. They're also bringing back versions of VF staples like 100-man Kumite and Tetsujin, but they don't want to lean too heavily on nostalgia. So that's pretty nice. That's a pretty nice touch. Well, like I said, I do understand not leaning too heavily on nostalgia, but it's pretty nice that that's something that they mention. So that's pretty neat. But the vision for esports is many tournaments, including global tournaments. So they do want to do global tournaments. Like I said, even though this may start off in Japan, it's going to expand into global tournaments. So very promising. Very promising. Okay. Next, moving forward, on interacting with the long-established VF fan communities. Usiman often held in-store events and regularly met with fans during his border break days. So he understands the value in doing so and wants to do it for VF. But he may have to find ways of doing that online, obviously. So, yeah, because like I said, there's no telling how long the pandemic was going to last. And, with things still being kind of rough in some areas in the world, online is what he may have to do for a while for now. But at some point, I pray that things will get better and that he'll be able to go back to the offline, meet and greets and have a physical presence in events like this. So here's hoping, let's keep on praying for things to get better throughout the pandemic. Moving on, this is a big one. On Virtua Fighter 6, nothing's been decided, so there's not much he can say. But given the choice between making VF6 or not, he'd obviously like to. VF Esports is one way to test whether the market wants a new VF. So he wants to make it a success that can hopefully lead to other things. Bingo. And that's what I've been saying. This is it, guys. He wants to do it. And he clearly is saying that VF Esports, aka Ultimate Showdown, is one way to test whether the market wants a new VF. It's up to us, y'all. It's up to us. We got to go in. We either got to go all in or not at all. So, I mean, you heard it right there. What y'all gonna do? You want VF6 bad enough? What y'all gonna do? Moving on. In closing, so this is the last part. In closing, Usiman reiterates that the game's free right now, so as many people as possible can try it. So he wants new players to get a feel for it and go in as deeply as they like. He also asks that the old heads be kind to newer players and help to foster a larger VF community. I couldn't have said that any better. Usiman pretty much said absolutely what was needed to be said and what was needed to be heard. Once again, the game is free for the first 2 months. There's no excuses. Get on that. And for the vets, we got to be as welcoming as possible for the newer players to expand this community. Like, we can't be so heavy on the scrub talk and such, putting other people down. You know, the cyberbullying, all that's got to stop. That's got to stop. Like, we gotta show that the VF community can be a welcoming community. And for the most part, have been a welcoming community. Most definitely. I can definitely account for that. Has been very welcoming. And this is the opportunity to really expand on that and be one of the best VF communities, especially in welcoming new players, you know, from all over, of different races, different backgrounds, whatever. You know, so we gotta really be thorough on that. I'm not saying that the VF community has been doing a bad job. Not saying that. But if anything, this is a great reminder. This is a great reminder to really be as welcoming, as understanding as possible. And I know this is a good reminder for myself. You know, for me doing VF arenas, for me, you know, continuing to carry myself, being a blessing to the VF community. So this is a good reminder for me. You know, and I'm gonna take it to heart. You know, because I know I've done some great things, and there's things that I could definitely do better. You know, especially communication wise. So, I mean, we gotta take it to heart, and just we gotta do our part in the VF community. We gotta do our part, and you know, Usiman is encouraging it. He's encouraging it fully. So I love this. I definitely love this. Also in this thread, GSK, or excuse me, GSK also posted the Twitter handle for the RGG Studio, which is at RGG Studio, which is RGGS is capital letters, where you can route your feedback to. So, something to keep in mind. And like I said, all this will be in the link that I put in the description box, so that everybody can be able to look back at all of what was said. Because like I said, this is GSK, who is at Gosokyu, who helped do the translations of this article, this interview with the Sega producer on Famitsu.com. So definitely check this out. But like I said, especially after going through all that, I'm more excited now to really get going on Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. Like I said, it's only a couple of days away, y'all. Let's get hyped. Let's do this. I'm looking forward to hosting VF arenas with Ultimate Showdown and just, you know, playing with each and every one of y'all and just really supporting this as best as I can. So, yeah, I'm hyped. It's time to get hyped. Only a couple of days away. So, let's do it. But yeah, let's go hard. But yeah, let me know what y'all's thoughts are. After all that's come out this week, we've seen quite a bit come out in regards to Ultimate Showdown, even starting from the announcement. What are y'all's thoughts? Are y'all excited about this now that there's a little bit more elaboration on the details behind this game and the esports project and what they have for the future? What are y'all's thoughts? Are you excited? Are you a little hesitant? What do y'all hope to see? Because, like I said, there's going to be ongoing updates as time passes, and it's going to come down to us. It's going to come down to us playing, getting access to the game, which is going to be made available. We got to get on it. We got to play it, and we got to leave our feedback. We got to get that communication. We got to build this community up. So yeah. Let me know what y'all think overall. Share your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss any video. And thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And hope everybody, as many people as possible, will download Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. And I will see y'all in a lobby near you. Well, virtually. But thank y'all so much for watching. This is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram signing off. Hope everybody has a blessed day and weekend, and I will see y'all soon. Laters.